So I have a question this morning. When is it the right time to do the right thing? Now, of course, everyone knows that's a rhetorical question. The question actually provides the answer. Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Is it 10 years from now? Is it to garner support for an election? Is it for strategic military enhancement? What is the proper reason, and when is the right time to do the right thing? Well, the answer obviously is the present. Now is always the right time to do the right thing, in spite of the cost to military enhancement, in spite of the possible cost to electoral enhancement, or any other issue. So what am I getting at? I want to go over a few articles this morning. All right, let me get rid of this. Okay. So back in February 2019, February 26, 2019, Senators Cruz, Cotton, Representative Gallagher introduced resolution recognizing Israel's sovereignty over Golan Heights. Okay. So what we have found was that President Donald Trump says he made a snap decision on Golan after a history crash course. All right, on the Times of Israel, we see President tells Jewish GOP confab that recognition upended U.S. policy was made during a quickie briefing, says David Friedman reacted like a wonderful, beautiful baby. U.S. President Donald Trump said Saturday that his decision to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights was made swiftly after a quickie history lesson. Trump last month signed a proclamation. We're in April now. That was back in March. He signed a proclamation recognizing Israel's de facto annexation of the plateau, upending decades of U.S. policy. The move drew some international condemnation and Israeli praise. Now, folks, please notice that Senators Cruz, Cotton, and Representative Gallagher, and of course, let's see, the bill was also sponsored by Marco Rubio, Kevin Cramer, Lindsey Graham, Brian Mast, Doug Lamhorn, Jim Banks, Elsie Stefanik, Tom Cole, Mark Meadows, Bill Johnson, Scott Perry, Roger Marshall, Mark Green, Lee Zeldin, Ted Budd, and Jody Heiss. Were also co-sponsors of the bill. Once again, when is the right time to do the right thing? Should this not have been done a long time ago? Why should a president wait until being, say, I wouldn't say forced by the U.S. Senate, but in a sense he was, because not getting ahead of this or allowing Republican senators to get ahead of him on this would prove him to be, well, something short of a leader. Would it not? And I'm going to go over a few things concerning Benjamin Netanyahu And I'm questioning reasoning behind his talk as well concerning Judea and Samaria. On Debka.com, Netanyahu in election speech pledges to apply sovereignty to Judea and Samaria. Should not have this been done a long time ago, in spite of implications? With 2 days to go to Israel's general election, Likud leader Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he would apply sovereignty to Judea and Samaria. I don't differentiate between the large settlement blocks and isolated communities. He also promised to bring all the right-wing parties into his next government. Challenged to a TV debate with his main rival, blue and white Benny Gantz, Netanyahu said, I don't debate with half a prime minister, in reference to a rotating deal between Gantz and his party's number two, Yair Lapid. Gantz shot back, he's afraid to confront me. Well, the gist of the story is, it's if he is elected. Once again, when is the right time to do the right thing? Isn't it now? Isn't it? I find this extremely disturbing. Now, let me explain, folks. Especially among the Christians. Especially among Christian nations. This is the Messiah's land. This is the King of Israel's land. The inheritance. It is not to be used as a political tool. It is not to be used as a military strategic tool. If you, as a leader of a country, recognize the Golan Heights and Judea and Samaria as land belonging to Israel because of what is written in the scripture, then you are on the right track. Because if you use the kind of reasoning that politicians are using right now, let me see if, is it on the Jerusalem Post? Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, he goes and points out, his reasoning for the need for Israel to have the Golan Heights is for military reasons. This is the reasons he gives. No, Lindsey Graham, that's not the reason. No. The reason is to fulfill Scripture, to fulfill the word of Jehovah as written in the prophets. Obedience to our Father in heaven. Holy is his name. The president told the Republican National Committee's annual convention in Las Vegas that he decided on recognizing Israel's hold on the territory after getting a rushed briefing from senior White House aide Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, ambassador to Israel David Friedman, and the negotiator Jason Greenblatt. He said the three had phoned him about an unrelated matter when he brought up the Golan, but did not say when the conversation took place. I said, fellows, do me a favor, give me a little history quick. Want to go fast. I've got a lot of things I'm working on. China, North Korea, give me a quickie, he recalled. Trump then said he was told about the security ramifications. What about scriptural ramifications? When is it time to do the right thing? If it's about security ramifications, anyone could make the case in a flawed manner to do the exact opposite. Security ramifications. If it is in the best interest of the United States national security, is that the reason? No, that is the wrong reason. Security ramifications of Israel holding on to the high ground of the plateau, which overlooks the Sea of Galilee and part of the Upper Galilee. I said, how do you like the idea of me recognizing exactly what we're discussing? Because I agree, you need it, you need the height. He said, he told Friedman, who reacted like a wonderful, beautiful baby. It is Messiah's land. It is Moshiach's land. Okay? That land is, all of that land is to be recognized as Israel's land now. All of the land written in Yehoshua 1, verses 1 through 4 are to be recognized as belonging to Israel now. Not for political purposes, not for electoral purposes, and not for security purposes, but for the truth's sake, for prophecy's sake, for the word of Jehovah's sake. You would do that, sir? He recalled Friedman asking him, to which he cried, yeah, I think I'm going to do it right now. Let's write something up. Once again, after Senators Cruz, Cotton, and Representative Gallagher and all of these Republican congressmen and senators sponsored a bill, the president finally decides to do the right thing. That's, for me, that's a problem. You do the right thing today, not tomorrow, not when it serves your purpose. Now, where is this? And of course, so what we have here on Press TV is Turkey is going to try to stop this. Turkey fumes at Netanyahu over West Bank annexation remark. West Bank, it's not the West Bank, it's Judea and Samaria. You Muslims and Christians, you need a history lesson. The West Bank is referring to those lands as Palestinian lands. Well, a history lesson for you goes like this. Rome, future seat of European Christians, deliberately renamed the land Palestine in order to forever blot out the name of Israel. And that is one of the many crimes that Rome has committed against the Almighty, our Father in heaven. And to continue to call that land Palestine or even the West Bank is just furthering the sin. Turkey has strongly censured Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for promising to annex settlements in Judea and Samaria. Now, another history lesson, Judea, under the Romans before the fall of Jerusalem, was called Judea because Edomites lived among the Jews. And in Greek, Edomites or Edom was called Edomia. So even Judea is off-putting. Should be Judah and Samaria. But anyway. For promising to annex settlements in Judah and Samaria if reelected, saying that the irresponsible statement will not change the status of the so-called occupied Palestinian territory. Well, I've got news for you, Turkey. Judah and and Samaria are going to be annexed. My only problem is it has not been annexed soon enough. But it will be. And it will be against your will. And it will cause severe security problems in Israel. But the security issues that it's going to cause is no reason to stop the annexation. Because to annex that land, to annex all of that land, is doing the will of our Father in heaven, Jehovah, the Holy One of Israel, concerning Moshiach. It is not Palestinian territory. It is not Arab territory. It is the territory of the King of Israel. It belongs to him. It does not belong to anyone else. And those who fight against this annexation are going to fight against the King of Israel when he comes, and will be defeated. So to all these politicians out there who are using the Holy Land for strategic purposes, military strategic purposes, for electoral purposes, I urge you not to do that. It is wrong. It is perverse. Do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. So to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, don't wait until after the election to do this. Do it now. And don't annex just the territories that the Jews live in. No, you annex all the land that is written in Yehoshua 1, verses 1 through 4. You know what lands those are. It is time to live by faith. It is time to obey the word of Jehovah. It is time to obey the scripture. You have the promise of Joel 3. Believe it. You have the promise of Ezekiel 37, 38, 39. Believe it. You have the promise of Hosea 11. Believe it. You have the promise of Jeremiah 31. Believe it.